It's nighttime. The sun has set and all you can hear is the sound of crickets chirping outside. But what's that? A twig snaps and you turn your head to see nothing in the darkness. Then it happens again. This time you see something, your blood runs cold and you run to the safety of your bedroom. When you look back, you see a ghastly figure standing where the snapping twig had been. Welcome back, everyone. Here are 3 unforgettable true nighttime horror encounters that will haunt you. No. 3. The Watcher. Robert and his family moved into their new house in upstate New York in 1976. It was an old farmhouse that had been built in the 1700s, but it needed a lot of work. The family spent all their time renovating the house, and they didn't really have much time to unpack or organize. One night, Robert and his wife were working on a floor when they heard a knock at the front door. They stopped what they were doing and went to the front window to see who was there. All they could see was a man wearing a raincoat and holding an umbrella. It was odd because it wasn't raining. Who would be walking around in the rain without an umbrella? Robert said to his wife. They looked at each other and decided to ignore whoever was at the door. Perhaps it was just a salesman or a tricksy teenager. As the minutes passed, the knocking continued. So Robert grabbed a baseball bat and crept closer to the door. He peeked through the peephole and saw the same man from before. Was he crazy? Why would someone stand outside their door in the rain for so long without an answer? Robert finally opened the door. "Can I help you?" he asked. The man smiled and said, "I'm sorry to bother you, but I just wanted to let you know that you left your porch light on." Robert felt a chill go down his spine. The man was soaking wet and yet there wasn't a drop of water on the welcome mat. "Thank you," Robert said awkwardly. "I didn't realize." The man took a step forward. Robert slammed the door shut and bolted it. He leaned against the door, trying to calm his racing heart. His wife came over and asked him what was wrong. "I think we need to leave," he said. They packed a few things quickly and drove away in the middle of the night. To this day, Robert doesn't know what was behind that door. Lost boy Michael was hiking with his friends in the Beartooth Wilderness in the early 2000s. The group of friends had been hiking all day and it was starting to get dark. They decided to set up camp and make a fire while they waited for the sun to come back up. Michael stood by the fire and watched as his friends unzipped their tents. Suddenly he heard a loud crash in the forest. He turned to look but saw nothing. Had it been an animal, perhaps a bear? Michael shrugged and turned back to the fire. Another crash. This time he saw a boy emerge from the trees. The boy was covered in leaves and twigs and he seemed to be stuck in the branches of a tree. Michael watched in amazement as the boy struggled to free himself from the branches. He was too afraid to move. Then the boy climbed down the tree and started to approach Michael. The boy was soaked in mud and his clothes were torn and dirty. Michael backed away slowly, afraid of what might happen if he got too close. The boy reached out to Michael and said, "Help me." Michael screamed and ran as fast as he could to his tent. He zipped himself inside and huddled in the corner. He could hear the boy outside the tent calling for help. Michael stayed in the tent all night, too afraid to come out. In the morning after, of course, he reported this to the authorities and they found no trace of the boy. Michael returned to the tent to find the branches from the tree that the boy had been stuck in lying right outside the tent. The branches had spelled out SOS, number 1. The ghost train. Thomas was driving home one night in 1995 when he saw a train blocking the road. He pulled over to wait for the train to pass. Suddenly, Thomas noticed that something was wrong. The train wasn't moving, and the cars were filled with passengers. As he watched, a woman stepped off the train and walked toward him. She was dressed in clothes from the Victorian era and she seemed confused. "Are you lost, miss?" Thomas asked. The woman looked at him and said, "What year is it?" "It's 1995, Thomas replied. The woman gasped and said, "Oh no, I've been gone too long." She turned and walked back to the train. Just then, a man stepped off the train. He too was dressed like it was the 1800s. "Is everything all right?" Thomas asked. "We don't know where we are or how we got here," the man said. "This isn't our time, you see. We're ghosts." Thomas watched as the ghostly passengers boarded the train. He turned back to the road and drove away. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out more content. With that, thanks for watching and see you next time. What do you think? Have you ever seen a ghost? Let me know in the comments below. If you want to learn more about scary things, I'd recommend checking out some more content. And as always, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more scary content.